Navy. He was responsible for some of the first rescuing some of the first astronauts coming down, splashdowns from Apollo missions and stuff. And they had a flood, and this was a subfloor underneath a subfloor. They had two subfloors built on top of each other. And the flood got in there, and I didn't have a mask on. Shame on me, right? I didn't realize how much positive pressure was under the floor. When we opened that sucker up, it came up. I lost my voice. I got very, very sick for almost 2 months. Got exposed to a major dose of aspergillus. Got me very, very sick. And ever since then, if there's a lot of aspergillus in a room, I develop headaches. I mean, I can go down very quickly, lose my voice, break out, add noise, swell up. You know, so it can happen. So I have to be very careful. And that was just because I didn't take the right proper PPE. I mean, and I wasn't even on the job. I was just walking in the job. And the guys were all working. They had their PPE on, right? They're all their protection equipment and stuff. And me, I'm the owner. I provided it, you know, and I didn't put it on because whatever reason, and I got very sick. So I have to be very careful. This is a system that we ran kind of like we're talking about through the chicken thing, but this is an inline filter here, and we actually ran the purification up in the attic because we have all kinds of issues in the attic and their home, and they have air conditioning stuff, and we just allow it to, the purification to go out. We can run it the length of the attic, you know, and it's, and that way I don't have to go up there and try to scrub everything down and get everything else going.
Then what you did in the attic, what is that, the white? It's a pipe?
Yeah, that's just a Kevlar flex tubing.
Got holes in it?
Got holes in it. That's exactly right.
What is that?
That's an inline fan, and this is the filter. That's an inline fan from Granger for $250, and that's a chicken wire screen with a fiberglass mesh in it and an end cap.
And then after that, the CIMR.
Yes, and the CIMR's
And then
right.
blowing
Just blowing
air
through it.
inside there.
That's right.
Okay.
So, I mean, just another way of delivering the mechanisms, delivering the product. This is the lawsuit that I'm involved in right now. I'm the expert witness in it. This is S.J. Saya out of Baton Rouge. This is one I was bragging to Tom about the other day. And this is a home on the golf course there in Baton Rouge. Very exclusive type house, very nice. Got all kinds of relics and artifacts and all that kind of stuff in it. They're old Southern type folks. And one of their kids at 17 was a star football player. He started coughing up blood. Almost had a heart attack, excuse me, and and the other one started coughing up blood. And so when we got involved in it, and I asked SJ how he found out about us the other day, I forgot, but he had heard about our work with the Corps, and all the hygienists there in Louisiana said you're going to have to burn it down, destroy everything, and SJ wasn't, that just wasn't his nature, so he contacted us up. We went and said, yeah, I could do this. In those days I was bulletproof, you know, still am, but we could handle this, and so we went in there and we sanitized this home. It took me about 35 days. You talking about Petri dishes? I've got all those pictures. No, not in this PowerPoint, but I got them in my computer. I mean, they're just nasty. I mean, every Petri dish, everything's nasty. I took a Petri dish that I didn't send to the lab every day, probably 20 or 30 of them. I mean, this thing was just totally eaten up in this house.
What was causing it?
Turn that off.